Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host. This is going to be a one-story episode tonight. It's very late when I'm recording this, and breaking: House Republicans revolt, scrambles plan to prevent government shutdown. Congress began leaving Washington on Thursday for the long holiday weekend without a plan for how to prevent a government shutdown next week, as revolt over spending brewed among hard-right Republicans. Funding for 20% of the government is set to expire on January the 19th, and the rest to expire on the 2nd of February. House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, and Senate Majority Leader Charles E. Schumer, Democrat from New York, have agreed on an overall $1.66 trillion spending deal for the 2024 fiscal year, but lawmakers won't have time to enact it before the deadline. So the Senate on Thursday took procedural steps to be able to pass the stopgap funding bill, known as a continuing resolution, or CR, to keep the government open while members work on long-term spending legislation. Members left town after that and are due to return Tuesday. But in the House, conservatives are pushing Johnson to renege on the budget deal after stalling floor action on Wednesday in protest. They spent Thursday demanding that Johnson bow to their objections and touting plans to draft unspecified alternate ways to fund the government. The House was scheduled to remain in Washington until Friday and will recess until Thursday. There was 100% consensus in that room with everyone, those in the room with the Speaker, that the deal was terrible for the country, said Representative Bob Good, Republican from Virginia, the chair of the conservative House Freedom Caucus. Quote, "I think what we ought to do is fund the government at a level that cuts our spending year over year, that secures our border, and that we end the era of supplements that increase spending outside the regular funding process." He told reporters later that the GOP should not be afraid of instigating a partial government shutdown if it could create leverage for spending cuts. That left tensions simmering within the Republican conference and rekindled some of the anger that led to the ouster of Johnson's predecessor, former Congressman Kevin McCarthy, Republican California, over far-right animus on spending deals. You've got a razor-thin majority and a divided government, so he has got a tough row to hoe, but my belief is you've got to lay out a vision of where you want to go and set the target and then go achieve it, said Republican Representative Chip Roy from Texas, a leading spending hawk. "I'm not interested in just defaulting to whatever Chuck Schumer and the White House say we have when we have the House." Outside the Freedom Caucus, though, other Republicans warned that rejecting the deal that Johnson reached with Schumer could have negative political consequences. Quote, "We took weeks off last fall to elect a new speaker. I mean, there's no way to spin a partial government shutdown as anything other than Republicans in the House of Representatives can't govern," said Representative Kelly Armstrong from North Dakota. The Speaker and other Republican lawmakers said he has not made any commitments to drop the agreement, but hear out GOP members who want to reject it. "We have thoughtful conversations about funding options and priorities. We had a cross-section of members in today," Johnson said. "We'll continue to have cross-sections of members in, and while on those conversations are going on, I've made no commitment. So if you hear otherwise, it's just simply not true." Democrats openly marveled at Republicans' buying. Quote, what it is that they don't understand about governing and getting something done," asked Representative Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut, the top Democrat on the House Appropriations Committee. "They don't want to do nothing. They don't know how to govern, and they truly do want to shut the government down. No one on our side wants to do that. We're trying to work very hard to get to sit down and get a deal. It's really, really incredible. They should look for another job." This was a quip by Representative Earl Blumenauer, a Democrat from Oregon who's set to retire in 2025 after nearly 3 decades in the House. Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, has the majority. President Biden and McCarthy landed on the overall budget structure in the spring as part of an agreement to suspend the debt limit, but the GOP conference's right flank rejected it almost immediately, then ousted McCarthy from speakership in October when he relied on Democratic support to enact a stopgap financing measure that didn't cut spending. McCarthy resigned from Congress at the end of last year. Congress packed a Johnson-backed continuing resolution in November that staggered government funding deadlines in an attempt to appease arch conservatives, but the new speaker still needed votes from Democrats to pass the bill. Thank you to Jacob Bogage from the Washington Post, as well as Marania Sotomayor for contributing. I wonder if that's any relation to the justice. Anywho, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to bed. I am very tired. Please consider going to HIMedia.gg/donate to support us. It should be in the description below if you're of YouTube or your preferred podcasting app, or just run it back and listen. All the support you can give can help a brother out. Have a lovely rest of your night. I am going to go die.